practice?
Well, today was our first day out. Our kids had off yesterday, started school. Give them an opportunity to get all their books, all their classes, everything settled, and then we got back to work. We had meetings last night, but we got back to work on the field today.
Garrick, is the focus with class different? You know what I mean? It's different when these guys have got
Well, you see the difference with your young kid with the freshmen. The upperclassmen, they know the way this works. They're fine. They have everything organized before. The freshmen, it's their first time being on campus in class, so it's a little bit different for them.
How are things with the quarterback decision?
Good.
Or have you guys made a quarterback decision?
No, we have not. No, we haven't.
When do you expect to maybe make one, or how does that timeline go with that?
Well, like I said, the one thing we know for sure is that we will have to make a decision before the game. The kids are doing good, though. It is hard because, all four of them at this point are really good players. They all bring different things to the table. We really trust all four of them, Lamar included. And they're all doing a really good job. They're under control. They understand our system. They're really stepping into a leadership role as a group. So I've been really proud of them. We're in pretty good shape at that position.
Does it matter what the line of who the quarterback is, and what in the line with maybe the line you pick at all?
Well, it probably works together. It's just a combination of what gives us the best opportunity to win. That's what the decision will be about. What gives us the best opportunity to win the next game that we play? And that's how the decision will be made.
At what point do you all focus fully on Auburn and game
one? Well, of course, next week it'll be, full board Auburn. But this week we got some work in, started looking at some of their looks and things that are going on. But we still want to work with our top ones against ones, so we're getting full speed reps. So it's very physical practices. You're developing, you understand the pace of the game, the competition of it. So we're still not at the point where we're totally working against scout squads. But, of course, by next week it'll be full board Auburn.
Is it difficult to simulate what Auburn does? Do you think it will be?
Meaning
like
on
your
defense?
Scout defense, is it difficult to simulate their speed?
Well, there's always, it's always different for scout players to simulate what their top players are going to do on any team. It's probably the same thing if you ask their coaches, is it, can you tell how fast Devontae Fields is going to be rushing with a scout player? That's not necessarily the truth. You're going to need the real live action. So every school has that same issue. That's why it's important. Everybody talks about your role on the team. The scout squad is very important. We actually call them a look squad. They're very important because they have to give very good looks. They have to give fast looks. They have to be physical, play with good technique, really move so that you get the right, looks that you're going to see in the game.
What do you thought of Kyle Bolin this camp?
I think he's done a really good job. He's a very accurate passer. He's bigger, he's stronger, which means he has more velocity on the ball. He understands our system now and where to go with the football. I think he's done a good job.
Has Will done well through the grind, all the two-a-days and stuff like that?
Yeah, Will's done very well. His leg is not we were wondering if it was going to swell up after a certain amount of work and reps, but it never did. He never complained. He does a good job at this point of taking care of his body. He understands how to take care of his body because he's really like an upperclassman now. So it never did. He never had a setback during training camp.
Have you seen Reggie's passing has improved over last year?
Yeah, no doubt. He's not just his passing. He has a better understanding of our system and how defensive structure works, of where the safeties are, where the linebackers are placed. His eyes are opening up. I think that last year, it's amazing we won those games because I don't know that he really saw anything. He was just athletic enough to go make the plays on the field.
What do you think about the fact that you ended up getting to coach Staples after all, again, once you moved?
It's a pretty cool deal for me. Not just because I really love that kid and I saw him and his family and his grandmother and, we really went after him and went and recruited him. Not just that, but it's really cool for me because he's a really good player and he's on our team.
You beat Coach Petrino for him, too.
Yeah, I don't like to talk publicly about that. We just talk about that.
What do you like from the tight end spot right now?
Talented. We'll get Keith back. He was out there on the field, today moving around, which he adds, obviously another weapon and a big physical blocker for us. But then Mickey, Cole, and Charles, those guys are very talented, very athletic kids. They're tall. They have range. They're also able to block. So we're really excited about the group. We think we have just as much depth as we've had at that position.
Those big freshman offensive linemen, is it possible that they could work into the starting lineup?
Well, yeah, it's possible. We got a bunch of guys working right now. We'll play with a lot of guys throughout the game because there is a long season. We got to continue to develop everybody. But there's no doubt possible that they definitely could be out there.
Bobby said on Saturday, he talked about Mickey and how far he's come in a year. How far have you seen him in? Just so athletic for a big guy.
Yeah, really proud of Mickey. It's hard when you go from being the star of your high school team to a red shirt and you're not competing, you're not playing, you're standing on the sideline. And we were really worried about Mickey. But once we got into spring ball and went through the summer, you know, Mickey has really done a good job growing up, maturing. He understands how important he is to our offense, and he's doing a really good job for us.
Bobby said the other day that Jaron is now playing tackle.
Yeah.
Kenny's playing guard.
Yeah.
Which I guess was different. Maybe we saw him 3 weeks ago or whatever in the public. What did you kind of think about why you got slotted in those spots?
Well, I think you guys were out there those first 4 or 5 practices maybe, and that was the point where we were trying to figure out the skill set of each kid. And once we got going, you know, we figured out that Kenny is a mauler. Kenny's a big, giant guy that's a mauler. And Jaron is more, he's big, but he's more of an athlete. He can move around. He can really shuffle his feet. He's quick. So as we started to evaluate what their skill set was, we just felt like that was the best chance for them to help us this year.
What did you think of Bird and Griffin getting put on scholarship?
Oh, I think it's really cool because those kids have done a good job for us. You know, in the weight room, there's nobody. Well, there's one guy stronger than Griffin Ewell on our team, but when it comes to squatting and benching and those things, he's one of the top guys we got. And then Bird, since we came in, Bird has been really a surprise to us as a walk-on because we saw him continue to develop, and then in last spring, he really came into his own, and I think he's in position to really help us get out on the field. He played some last year in certain personnel groupings, but I think this year he's in position to help us.
How did those guys get the news?
They probably met with Coach one-on-one.
Yeah.
He calls them up to to his office. He probably tells them that they're in trouble for something, then breaks the news for them. No, I doubt that. But he has those one-on-one meetings with each kid, and it's really a cool thing. I know for him because he talks about it all the time. And I know it's a cool thing for the kids and their parents.
Well, we all look at it as, okay, we keep asking you who's going to be the quarterback. Are you guys having fun with it that you've got 4 guys that are competing at a level that it's seemingly they're competing at right now?
Well, you really just concentrating on what is it going to take for us to win this game, and what are the skill sets of each kid? How do they match with the offensive line, with the running backs? What's the scheme going to be for us to try to give us the best opportunity to win? That's what you're concentrating on. And it's good to have, options, so we're fortunate to have depth. So it's not, a stressful thing at all. We're just trying to figure out the right pieces of the puzzle to give us a chance to go down and win.
Is it an advantage for Reggie that he's probably maybe a little more elusive as far as what comes at him?
I think that if you were talking to him, he would say, yeah, but if you're talking to Will, he would say the advantage is that I understand football and I could throw. If you're talking to Kyle, he would say the advantage is that I'm accurate. So I don't know that it's an advantage. Every kid has to use what they bring to the table.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you.